have this email newsletter list.
It has 650 subscribers, not huge.
And I need a tool so I can email this list. But I have a very important non-negotiable requirement. The tool has to be
Free. As in $0, no tricks, no free trial, no credit card required, just free forever. So I made a list of every newsletter tool I could find, and there's a lot. I found 40, and in this video we're going to find out who has the best free plan.
At first I thought all 40 tools might have free plans, but I think I was being tricked.
All these companies love the word free. Like Mailmoto says, get started, it's free, all over their homepage, and yet they have no free plans. So when they say it's free, they don't mean the product.
They mean you're welcome to trial their paid product for free. Okay.
Campaign Monitor includes a free plan on their pricing page, but if you read the little gray text, you'll see it's not a plan. It's just a 30-day trial of their paid plan. Out of frustration, I Googled email newsletter tools, but only with a free plan, and you'll never guess who is advertising there. Constant Contact. So I clicked through, and guess what? They have no free plans either. This wasn't a great start, and I was feeling discouraged. Companies were already trying to trick me. Why would they do this?
Well, I'll let you in on a little secret. Companies don't want to give you something for free. Not really. They want it to seem like it's free to get you in the door. Then, as we'll find out in this video, once you're in the door, they'll start putting up obstacles, hoping to wear you down and get you to say, forget it, I'm just gonna pay. But that's not gonna happen. Not today. Because today's a different day. Because while it did take me way too long,
I was able to figure out that 23 of these companies don't have free plans. So let's eliminate them, which leaves us with 17 that do.
And remember at the beginning of the video, I said I had 650 contacts.
Well, most of these companies have a contact limit on the free plan. So I eliminated any tools with a contact limit that's below 650. Tiny asterisk here, I eliminated Brevo and Flowdesk.
Technically, they both have unlimited contacts on the free plan.
But Flowdesk limits you to 500 emails per day and Brevo limits you to 300 emails per day, so
that's just not gonna work.
So we have 8 remaining tools.
Now, I haven't even told you yet what I need an email newsletter tool for, so let me explain.
I am a musician. Not a very successful musician, but I do make music. It was a summer night when you first appeared. And over time, I've built up this mailing list of 650 people.
I only email this list when I release a new song, which is like 3 to 4 times a year, not that often. My emails are very simple. A few paragraphs of text and some album art that links to my song. I like my links to be blue. I honestly don't care that much about the font, as long as it's not like an ugly system font. You know the ones, Arial, Times New Roman. And lastly, I don't like nonsense in the footer of my emails. I like a clear unsubscribe button, but not much else. So that's it. Nothing too crazy, very straightforward emails. Let's start trying these tools and see which one is best for me. We'll start with Kit.
I started by opening Kit's pricing page, and I saw they had a free plan. So I signed up. I thought I'd get started by creating an email, but I got a notification that my account was disabled and that I had to get in touch with customer support. So I did. They had some questions for me and I answered them. And I sort of just waited. A few hours later, they got back to me, and this time they asked me to share a screenshot of a report from my previous email newsletter provider. Kind of seemed a bit private, but okay, whatever. I sent it to them. While I waited for a response, I decided to poke around the app. And I noticed something. It said I was on a trial, and it gave me the option to upgrade, which is weird. Remember earlier? I signed up for a free plan, not a free trial. So I clicked the upgrade button just to explore, and Kit was asking for my credit card.
Which you just know some users are gonna get tricked by this and think, oh crap, I thought they had a free plan, but I guess I have to pay Kit. Like, I mean, it's okay to give a free trial to your free users, I get that. That makes sense. Just seems like Kit is being a bit evasive here.
Because they do offer a free plan. You just have to scroll past the credit card form and find it here. And click downgrade.
All right, well, about 36 hours after signing up, I got an email from Kit that said I was approved.
So I got to work recreating my email in Kit. It wasn't hard, the editor was solid. And I got to finally send my email, which is important because once I sent it, I could see the ad that Kit includes with free plans. It's a good-sized ad. All right, Kit's free plan. Contact limit, 2,500. That's pretty good. But there was that lengthy onboarding and the confusing downgrade, and that was a pretty big ad included on emails. So I'm giving them 2 stars. Next up was Email Octopus.
Yeah, that's right. They went with Octopus. I can respect that.
Like Kit, Email Octopus had to review my account, but fortunately I was approved within 10 minutes, so that was an improvement. The email editor was maybe a bit basic, but easy to use, and I was able to design my email how I wanted. Afterwards, I had a question for support, and a real human got back to me right away, which is pretty great considering I'm on the free plan. And when my email arrived, I was pleased to see the ad they included was quite small, though they did require me to include my mailing address on the bottom, which I've blurred out, but kind of annoys me. Email Octopus's support says it's a requirement, which is interesting because none of the other tools we try will require this.
But honestly, the name and logo did kind of throw me off a bit, but overall, I'm happy with Email Octopus.
Contact limit is 2,500. Tiny ad, but an address is required. Editor was a bit outdated, but support was good. Overall, I'm going to say that's 4 stars. Well done, Email Octopus. All right, who's up next? Mailercloud. Here's a funny thing. I signed up for Mailercloud and started a campaign, and I started filling things out when I noticed I needed to add a sender. But before I added a sender, I had to add a domain. I know it's a bit complicated, but just try to follow me here. They wouldn't let me use my Gmail domain. Instead, it required me to add a custom domain. This was tricky.
The premise of this video is that we're looking for a free newsletter. I do have a custom domain name for my music. It's stevebenjamins.com, but domain names cost money. Could I truly say that this was a free email marketing tool if it required a custom domain name? Well, maybe yes, maybe not, I don't know. But at least now you know.
The tricky thing for me was, in order to add a custom domain name, they asked me to add these DNS records, which I don't love doing.
You want to be careful editing DNS records. It can screw up your email, your website, all kinds of things. How would I know? Well, I've definitely screwed this up before.
And there was one line in particular that gave me pause. I think this is saying I have to delete an existing DNS record, which I'm not comfortable doing, especially just to try a free tool. So I'm rating Mailercloud a shoulder shrug. I don't know. You can try it for yourself.
Because here's the thing, I read their articles on why they require me to verify a domain, and I actually think it makes sense.
You see, in 2024, Gmail and Yahoo started recommending that people who send newsletters should verify their domains.
And Gmail and Yahoo are the 2 biggest email clients. When they say jump, you say how high. Mailercloud is just following their recommendations.
Domain authentication acts like a digital signature, verifying that the sender is who they claim to be.
So I think domain verification is an important issue, so I might come back and try Mailercloud later in the video. I might just leave it here. I'm honestly not totally sure. All right, next up, Beehiiv. Now Beehiiv is getting a lot of buzz right now. That's an unfortunate pun. Beehiiv, buzz. But I need to explain something about Beehiiv. It's specifically for content businesses. What is a content business? Well, in practice, Beehiiv tightly integrates between a website and email newsletter. Here's an example.
This is a Beehiiv website. Notice how they make newsletter signups very, very prominent. And there's also articles. Let's click one. And again, as we read the article, a newsletter signup prompt will pop up.
So in Beehiiv, you write posts, and those posts are sent to all your subscribers as an email, and it's also posted on your website. Email plus websites.
So let's try Beehiiv. And let's create a post. I actually really like the post editor. It's very fast, feels modern. Now when I click next, I see I can publish to email and web. But I just want an email newsletter. I don't actually need a Beehiiv website at all. So I'm going to deselect the web publishing. Once I sent the email, I discovered that they included a large footer in the email that I could not remove. They also included the date up top, and I couldn't remove that either. I don't like nonsense on my emails, so I just didn't really like that.
But the other frustrating thing was how often they emailed me.
Like they sent me an email to start. I unsubscribed, but fair enough, there's nothing wrong with a single onboarding email, right? But a few minutes later, I got another email. Something about product updates. I unsubscribed from that too. But 2 hours later, I got another email. It said I was subscribed to Creator Spotlight, which turned out to be their own newsletter. That's an unsubscribe. A day later, I got a fourth email. This time, though, I spotted a small preferences link. So I clicked it and unsubscribed from everything I could. But you'll never guess what came a day later. Another email from Beehiiv. It may not be possible to unsubscribe from this company. So, a contact limit of 2,500, nice editor, but the Beehiiv email website format probably isn't the right fit for me. I also couldn't remove the large footer in date, and they kind of spammed me. So I'm giving them 2 stars.
But, and this is a big but, it might work great for you, especially if you're starting a content business. And I really did like the editor, it was slick. Next up is Substack. Substack is also for content businesses. So like Beehiiv, Substack tightly integrates a website and email newsletter.
The weird thing is, when I signed up to Substack, the first thing they asked me was whether I wanted to subscribe to other newsletters. Which I was like, dude, no, I'm not here to read. I clicked start publishing, not start reading. Anyways, the email editor is nice, but it's less customizable than Beehiiv. Like I couldn't even make my links blue by default. Not critical, but I mean, come on. Once I was ready to send, I realized there was no option to only publish this as an email. No matter what, it would also be published on my Substack website and the Substack app.
Which I don't love. I don't care about my Substack website or the Substack app. I just wanted to send emails. You really have to buy into Substack's ecosystem if you're going to use it.
When I received the email, I noticed Substack includes a lot of nonsense. Like, what is all this nonsense? I'm not a fan of any of it.
And like Beehiiv, Substack was shameless about spamming me.
On day 1, I got a welcome email. I hit unsubscribe, and there were a bunch of notification toggles. I turned them all off.
You already know that's not the end of it.
Day 2, another email. I hit unsubscribe, and I noticed fine print saying I can visit my account page for more options, so I do, and I find a whole bunch more notification toggles. Get them all.
Then I get another email.
This one telling me that the Substack CEO interviewed someone. Great, dude, I don't care. I didn't ask for this. I hit unsubscribe again, found another wall of notification toggles, and I turned them all off. You can see where this is going.
I'm 100% certain this isn't the last Substack email I get. Ugh.
So Substack, technically they give you unlimited contacts, but it's not customizable. They spammed me, and there was too much nonsense on their emails. I give it 2 stars.
Again, the strength of both Beehiiv and Substack is that they are all in on being a email plus website platform. So if that's what you're looking for and you're okay getting spammed, then they're worth checking out, but it's just not a fit for me. By this point, I'd already done a lot of research, so if you appreciate my work, you can find links to each email marketing tool in the video description. Almost all the links are affiliate links, so if you want to try any of these tools, click the link and you'll be supporting my work. I hope it's clear, I'm not sponsored by any of these companies. The tool I choose is the tool I'm currently using for my music newsletter, and it's a pain to switch, so this is it for the long term. All right, next up, Mailerlite.
One of the first things Mailerlite asked me upon signing up was this. Instead of just signing me up to emails, they let me opt in. After Substack and Beehiiv spam, this was like a breath of fresh air.
Now, before we go forward, I have to say, Mailerlite has a bit of an advantage over the other tools I'm trying. You see, last year, I needed a newsletter for my company, Atlas. Atlas has like 30,000 email subscribers, so it had to be paid. I did a whole video researching this choice, and I'll link to it in the video description, but long story short, I ended up choosing Mailerlite. And it's been great. I've been very happy with the choice, which is why Mailerlite has a bit of an advantage in this video. Part of me leans towards it because I'm already familiar with the editor and I've had a good experience with them. But there were a few things that gave me pause when I was testing Mailerlite's free plan.
For starters, like Kit, they automatically put me into a free trial, though I appreciated that they actually explained why they did that. It was less sneaky.
And also like Mailercloud, they didn't allow me to send from a Gmail email address.
Instead, they did require me to authenticate my domain name. But they had this really simple automated authentication tool, and honestly, it only took me like 20 seconds to verify my domain name. This is a huge improvement over Mailercloud, who wanted me to manually change DNS records. So once that was done, I created my email. Like I said, I'm already familiar with the editor and I like it. And when the email arrived in my inbox, I saw the ad they put on it. I'd say this is kind of a medium-sized ad. So 1,000 contacts limit, medium-sized ad, easy domain authentication, no spam, and a good editor. Overall, I'd give them 4 stars. There's just 2 left, and next up is Zoho Campaigns. We're gonna do our best to go a bit faster here. I signed up for a forever free account with Zoho. But of course, they did that thing where instead they signed me up for a free trial to a paid plan. And if you click upgrade, they don't make it clear at all that this has happened. They just present paid plans. So I asked support and they confirmed that if I don't upgrade, I'll automatically be on the free plan.
I just wish they'd make this more obvious. Tell users that they're on a free trial and they'll be automatically placed on the free plan when it's done. That's it. It's simple. Just be clear. Now, here's a funny thing.
Zoho started sending me emails after signing up. These emails had no unsubscribe links, so I had to ask them to remove me from their list, and well, they never replied to me.
But having no unsubscribe link can lead to higher spam complaints, which is not good.
So it wasn't really surprising that when I checked my spam folder, I found a Zoho email had gone to spam. This is a massive red flag. If you're an email provider, your job is deliverability.
Like, you need to make sure your emails don't go in spam folders. Because if your emails go to spam, I have a bad feeling my emails are going to end up in spam too. But I'm committed to giving this a full test, so I carried on.
I designed my email and quickly found the editor was pretty annoying. I ran into a bug where I was able to change the font here, but not here. I couldn't set my default link color to blue, and overall it just felt like an outdated interface. But here's the thing. When I received the email, it still had the wrong fonts, and the links were black, but there was no ad. It was just my email.
Wow, so that's interesting. It's the only free tool with no ads.
So, contact limit of 2,000, outdated editor, seems spammy, but no ad. I mean, that's tricky. Overall, I'm gonna give them 3 stars. All right, we're almost there. Last one. Mailjet. All right, so like many of these tools, Mailjet cautioned me against sending with a Gmail email address. Fortunately, authenticating a domain with Mailjet was easier. It just required a single TXT DNS record, which is less intimidating. And the editor was fine, but once I sent the email, I saw that there was one main problem with Mailjet. Look how big this ad is. That's too big. So contact limit of 1,500, easy-ish domain authentication. Editor felt a bit outdated, but it worked. And the main thing is that the ad is too big. It's huge. Overall, I'd give them 2 stars. And mostly because of the ad.
All right, we've learned a lot. We saw a lot of ads and nonsense being added to emails. We learned that domain authentication is a pain, but might be important if you don't want your emails to be caught by spam filters. I think we kind of learned that some editors are nicer than others, but that a basic email like mine can be created with just about any email editor.
In the end, I gave no 1-star rating because I didn't want to be a mean person. And I gave no 5-star rating because, frankly, I don't think we found a perfect free option. There was some amount of downside to every tool.
And that might be by design. I'm guessing these companies only provide a free plan under the hope that one day some small thing will annoy us enough to upgrade to a paid plan. So, who did I choose? Well, my main takeaway after all this research is that different free options will work better for different people. Substack and Beehiiv might work great for some people, if you can tolerate all those emails, but in any case, it wasn't for me. Email Octopus was great. I liked how small their ad was. And if you really, really hate those ads, you could even try Zoho. Just keep an eye on your spam folders. And don't forget Mailercloud. Maybe they were okay. I did end up choosing Mailerlite. I think it's the best for me, partly because I already use it for other newsletters and I don't want to learn a second newsletter tool if I don't have to. Plus, I like its editor. The automated domain authentication was super slick and I can live with this ad. You can find links to every tool I mentioned in the video description. Hopefully this was useful. Subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos like this. All right, I'm just finishing up the editing for the video here.
And I thought I would just check to see if Beehiiv has emailed me any more times since I filmed this video.
And unbelievable, look at this. They've emailed me several times.
I'm never getting off this email list, am I?